Speaking of Disney, gotta stay on theme, unfortunately. Since we're talking about it, y'all, let's talk about Disney star Skai Jackson. The 22-year-old is reportedly expecting and engaged. Congratulations. I just feel a type of way, girl, about how we found out. She was reportedly charged, y'all, with domestic battery for pushing her fiance, reports TMZ, and security clocked the couple. And although they both deny that anything got physical, security cameras, I don't know if they deny that anything got physical. I think they were denying that anything was a problem with them and that they were happily engaged and expecting a baby together. But unfortunately, it still resulted in the arrest of Skai Jackson because she has officially, I think, been charged, it looks like, with domestic battery. This is not a good look for Skai. I remember the only other person I remember Skai publicly dating was the son of Solange Knowles. I believe that was one of her earlier relationships that I had heard of a couple of years ago, maybe a few years ago or so. Forgive me if I'm wrong on the years at this point. But yeah, I hate to hear this about Skai. I do hope that there's a positive outcome in terms of like charges are dropped and nothing happens. But I think it's out of the hands of her and maybe into the hands of like maybe the DA. I didn't put that part in the script, but sending nothing but positive vibes over to Skai and her, the father of her child or her fiance, excuse me. Let me go ahead and put some respect on that. And her fiance. I do hope that this does not mean that y'all have a toxic anything. And whatever the case may be, whether y'all stay together, don't stay together, I hope that y'all are just able to do whatever you need to do that is in the best interest specifically of the child. And speaking of domestic battery and just sort of relationships that's not necessarily going the right way, we got Saweetie. She's dealing with something similar with her boyfriend YG, except they were actually in their own apartment. They weren't out in public. They were in their own house or wherever they were, and the cops were reportedly called. And when the police got there, they did determine that there was no physical contact. So there wasn't a dramatic ending. It was just sort of a dramatic argument that resulted in the police coming by. So hope that they are able to get all of those things worked out. Saweetie, this is the second time, girl. This is the second time because you and oh boy of Migos, y'all also had this, y'all had a little elevator incident. But how'd you go down with $1 million on the elevator? And let's talk about somebody who's in looks like a more forgiving mood. Keke Palmer. It looks like Keke might be forgiving, but her fans ain't. But that's anytime. Anytime somebody likes you and you with somebody that has caused you either harm, problems, issues, because everybody Keke was saying Keke ain't had no problems until she got that little boy in her life. When you got Darius, that's when folks were really saying that, oh, Keke, we ain't heard none. No. If anything, we always hear Keke with another job. If we hear anything about Keke Palmer, what is it? She got another job. She coming out with another movie. She got a girl group, right? She doing something with SZA. It's always a job. It's not stuff that's like, oh, we got problems. But as soon as she met Darius at a Diddy party, went public with him, come on now. And then they had a baby together. And then we saw the camera footage. Should I say more like the snapped images from the camera footage of, yes, what looked like to us domestic violence or something very similar to somebody putting their hands on you when you didn't want them to. So you know how people don't want to describe it like that? That's still what it is, but let me just give a second description just in case. Just in case. I wanted to actually play something from a little bit earlier from my June 5th episode. I actually recorded something where I talked about a article that I found of Keke Palmer and her ex-boyfriend Darius Jackson, where they could have possibly made up. But this was back on June the 5th. Let's go ahead and take a listen. To just kind of follow up about Keke Palmer and Darius. If you remember, Emmy Award-winning actress and TV host Keke Palmer and ex-boyfriend Darius Jackson are reportedly in mediation for their domestic violence case. If you remember back in November of 2023,
Keke accused Darius of being abusive during their 2-year relationship. And I actually think this was prior to Cassie filing her lawsuit against Diddy. So I think this was like earlier in the November of 2023. And Cassie's was closer to like Thanksgiving of 2023. If you remember, Keke snapped photos from video in her home of what looked like Darius doing something physical to her. Now, a lot of people say that they have to see the video and all of the things and whatnot. Keke then filed a restraining order, and she got her restraining order extended in January until we thought it was going to be this upcoming July when there's supposed to be a court date. Specifically, the court date is reportedly July the 16th. And according to blast.com, if you go back and read the report or the filings, July 16th no longer appears. And it looks like Keke has reportedly dropped the case against the father of her son, and now they are in mediation. And this is just alleged. There's definitely more to come.
And this is the more to come. And the more to come is that it looks like they have had an opportunity to make up, because Darius posted a photo on his Instagram page of the three of them, meaning Keke, him, and their son, looking quite happy together. All right. Additionally, this is only a rumor only. So y'all go back and you look at the picture yourself. People think that Keke belly is poking, not from eating food. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say. Now, I don't know if I would read into that part, but this is what I will say. I'll say that y'all know how it is when we love people and they are with somebody who has done something like what the fans believe Darius has done, which is Keke didn't have no problem until Darius came up in her life. That's literally what many people think, okay? And although, I know that folks, we all want them to work it out for the best interest of the child, it does send an interesting message, Keke. So I just want to be very clear about that. You have some very young fans who follow you, and sometimes we don't want our personal lives to be an example. However, Keke, just watch yourself on this. Watch yourself. I'm not saying it should have been quiet, but I'm saying it should have been quiet.